Now you've been given 3 options on creating the roof here. So a monopitch, a double pitch, and a monopitch truss option. Okay, so these are the 3 that I've chosen. That one is slightly different, and I'll come to that now last. But I'm going to show you how to do these. A few little tips and tricks that you need to know when you go about creating these. Let's get rid of them. All right, so we're like that. Now let's get into our ground floor plan here. Okay. Now again, making sure that your detail level is at fine, and that we're not in our ground floor plan, we should be in our roof plan here, like so. All right, so I can see my columns there. Now, we're going into structure tab, we're going into beam, obviously. We're going into load family, and in our UK library here, we're down to structural framing. It is a bit of a funny one, in that you've got structural columns and you'd think they'd have structural beams as well, but no, they call it structural framing. So let's double click here, and we're into steel, and I like to go into the British standard sizes here, and we've got here the universal beams. Okay, now just before I do that, I want to show you, I'm going to go back into this is a mistake that some of you are going to make, I know that. So we created columns, and the temptation is to stay within structural columns here, go into steel, go into British standard, and that you would pick your universal beam from here. Now if you do that, it won't work, all right, because it understands that it says universal beams, but it's actually a column here. Okay, so it won't go horizontal for you, it only goes vertical. So you need to make sure that you come back out of the structural columns and go back into the structural framing in order to get the correct beams here. All right, little tip for you there. So universal beams, and if you open up, you'll get a selection of various different beams here. Okay, you notice as well that the web, the vertical piece on the beam tends to be deeper, and the plate tends to be a little bit shorter than the columns as well. All right, so pick the one that you're going to use and go okay. Now I've done this already, so this is, I chose a 254 by 146 by 46 kg. So that's the one I'm going to use. Now it's on the end of my on the end of my cursor here, and your temptation again is to start from that point there. Right, don't do that. Start from the intersection and pull it right through to there. Okay, and again, if you're in coarse, you won't even see it, right? But if you're in fine, it'll pop up here. Now I've created a section here so that we can have a look at this. Okay, so there it is there, and it's sitting right up at that correct level. Now, so how do we adjust this? How do we get the slope on it, and how do we drop it down? So select it, go into the properties. And what we're looking at here is the start level offset and the end level offset. So I'm putting in a minus figure. I'm going to put in minus 600 here, and you can see it's dropped down there. And then on the other side, I'm going to put in a minus 1200 here. Now that's it. Okay, so we got a slope there. We have enough space here for our secondary framing, Z purlins or whatever it's going to be, and our roof here, and we should leave enough so that the parapet sticks up on top, so we can wrap our material around it. Okay, so that's number 1. Back into our roof level, and we'll do number 2 here. Okay, so this is the double pitch. So we're in the beams again, and this time what I'm going to do is before I do this, I want to create a reference plane. Okay, so I'm going into architecture, and do this before you put the beams in. Create a reference plane, and I want the reference plane obviously to be in the center point there, and I'm going to pull that out like so. So if we want to name it, we will just call it center. All right, apply. Right, now when that is done, you're going to create two beams here, right? So we're going to go from intersection point to the reference plane, okay, and then we're going to come back and do that again from this angle here. So this would be south to north, like so. Now let's get in and take a look at that one. Right, so same exercise again. We're going to drop this one down minus 1200, like so, and we're going to drop that one down minus 600. Now it'll do funny things here, never mind that. Okay, we're going to do this one. This one will be minus 600. No, it should have been 12. Okay, and an extra 0 in there. And then this one is minus 600. Okay, now it'll go like that, that's fine. What you do is you grab this shape handle and you pull that all the way through. All right, now so make sure that there is a crisscross there. So how do we cut these? This is what we want to do. So we're going into modify and we're going into cut, and we're going to say I'm going to cut this and I'm going to cut it on the reference plane that we just created. Okay, we're going to cut this and we're going to cut it on the reference plane. Now there you go, there's a perfectly formed pitch there. We'll talk about connections later, we'll get into that, but that's basically the framework there. Now back into our roof for roof number 3. Okay, and in this case again we're going to be using, into the structure tab, we're going to be using a beam. I'm going to load a family here. Now there isn't a mono pitch truss in the UK library. Okay, so I'm going to show you an alternative, and then if you want to do the monopitch truss, I'm going to give you a link that'll to a video that'll show you how to make that. Okay, it's not that difficult to be honest, but so again we're into structural framing. Now a couple of things here is if I go back into the library here, you can see that there's structural trusses here. All right, now these are slightly different. Okay, you can see a little picture here. You've got the pink lines, you've got the green lines, and you've got the blue lines, and basically those lines act as individual members of the truss, but also they act as kind of sweep points. So whatever beam profile you apply to these, they extrude out like so. So you got the top beam, the bottom beam, and you got the intermediates in there. But if you go through all of these, you won't find a mono pitch. Okay, so that's they're the structural trusses. They act slightly differently to normal trusses, if you like. So within the framing here, you can see we've got truss members. You know, you would have used these in first year. All right, those ones. So we're going into steel here, and let's see what we've got. So you got something like that, which is a joist girder. All right, and that's the one I'm going to use, the joist girder, just to show you what's going on here. All right, now I've got that over here. It's this one. All right, and I just pick my points again, drag in between here and here. Okay, now it's telling me that it doesn't like that for some reason. Let's try that again. So it's beam, oh it's this one, joist girder, sorry. Picked the wrong one because I loaded in a couple just to try them out. Right, now, okay, that one worked. Now let's check that section there, see what it is. There it is. Okay, now again same process, so it would be minus 600. Okay, and this one will be minus 1200. Apply, and you got your mono pitch roof there. Now if you want to build your own, there are a couple of videos out there. This one is not bad. Okay, and it shows you how to to build the truss, but also not just that. Sorry, just bear, and we'll get through the ad here. Let me bring that back up. Right. You'll notice one of the things when you do go and create the truss, this happens. So you get these intermediates kind of either running short or running through or whatever else. And what I like about this video is that it shows you how to cut these so that you get a nice even looking truss like so. And then basically what he's done over here in the properties is that he's just applied a profile. So it could be a timber, could be a steel, could be an I section, it could be a box steel, it could be anything like that. Doesn't hugely matter in one sense. And you can use different sizes for the top beam and the bottom beam and the intermediates as well, and you can go and create your intermediate truss. So you can see that it's Arch Core Designs, how to make a custom truss, Revit tutorial tips and tricks. So you can do a search for that and find that, and that will show you how to make it. Okay, and you just need to know the distance. We know that that's 14 meters from grid to grid. Now that's how we would do the roof. So I'm going to do this one here. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to select this one and select that one. I'm going over to my roof plan. I'm going to copy. And I'm going to copy multiple. And again, using my grid intersections here, getting right in tight there to make sure that I can array these or copy them over like so. All right. And that will be how I'll get my roof done there. Okay.